Hey everybody, this is Keith here of Euphoria Pictures. Welcome back to my channel. Right, so for this video I am going to be unboxing and reviewing the 4K picture for my latest 4K Blu-ray Steelbook pickup that I got for SE7EN. Now, I don't know about yourselves, but I was very disappointed when Warner Brothers decided to cancel that collector's release that we were meant to get last year. I think it was called the What's in the Box Collector's Edition. I wanted to see what was going to be in the box, but unfortunately, that's never going to happen. And in the end, what we got was a very simple looking Steelbook release. Now, it's by no means the best looking Steelbook you'll ever see, but it is rather decent, as you'll see for yourselves when I take yous around it. Now, the movie is directed by David Fincher, and it's hands down still my favourite movie from him. As a matter of fact, we are getting another 4K release from him in the next couple of months. It is The Social Network. I think that's getting a 4K Steelbook as well, and I cannot wait to revisit that one. I'm a big fan of the movie, and fingers crossed they deliver on the 4K transfer. But I found this movie to be very unique, incredibly clever. You don't see movies like this anymore today, which is an absolute shame. You know, the concept of a killer killing people using the 7 deadly sins. It is a pretty cool concept, and it works incredibly well. It also has a wonderful, and I mean a wonderful cast. You got Morgan Freeman, Gwyneth Paltrow, Brad Pitt, and Kevin Spacey. Now, I know Kevin Spacey, there's not a huge fan club out there for Kevin Spacey at the moment, but there's no denying the impact that he makes on this movie when he does come into it. That scene in the car at the end of it when they're driving, I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but it's the scene with Kevin Spacey in the back seat. You can just feel the tension building up through that entire segment. And even when you look at Brad Pitt and the arrogance of Brad Pitt during that entire segment, you just knew it wasn't going to end too well for him. But it goes without saying, folks, if you haven't checked out SE7EN, it's a wonderful thriller. Like I said, incredibly unique, and I highly recommend looking into it. Now, in terms of special features when it comes to this release, it is by no means jam-packed. You've got 4 audio commentaries from director David Fincher, actors Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. There's also additional and extended scenes and alternate endings. Again, not particularly jam-packed. I wish they put a bit more into it. Give us a documentary maybe on the making of the movie. That would have been great to see. Right, so I'm going to take us around this Steelbook. I'm going to give you a close look at it, and then I'm going to come back and talk about the 4K picture. So, yeah, here we go. Right, so here we go. SE7EN on 4K Blu-ray Steelbook. So, naturally, there is a J card. I want to bring it in for you. And here we go. So, up top, you've got all your special features, your synopsis in the middle, and then, of course, all your technical information down below. And the J card is held on with glue spots. So put that to a side. Let's get on with the Steelbook itself. So it has a very simple matte finish to it. As you can see, the artwork itself is the scene with Kevin Spacey pointing the gun at Brad Pitt. And then, of course, you got the title of the movie. You got the 2 names above it, Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt. And then, of course, a film by David Fincher. And the ratings down below, they are stickers and they can be removed. So there's nothing else going on. No spot glossing, no embossing or debossing. Like I said, very simple. One little thing I wanted to comment on, you'll notice there's a few scratches there as well. As you can see, there is 6 of them altogether, 4 of which are crossed out. So that is the artwork on the Steelbook. So I'll take us to the spine of this one. And right around to the back, and yeah, once again, Warner Brothers delivering on another very boring bit of artwork when it comes to the backs of their Steelbooks. As you can see, they are just showing a few scenes from the movie, and then of course you got all the credits down below. Like I said, not the greatest Steelbook you're ever likely to see, but I have seen a hell of a lot worse. So I will open the Steelbook up in full, and there you have it. So I will turn it around and let you have a look at the discs. So this is the Blu-ray, or the 4K disc, I should say. And then, of course, you have got the Blu-ray disc. And all that's left to show is the inside of the Steelbook, and there you have it. So that is everything when it comes to this release of SE7EN. Right, so on to the 4K transfer. So I'm sure a lot of you are aware of it, but David Fincher was very vocal when it comes to his tinkering that he was doing on this 4K restoration, mainly on the grain structure. And yes, AI was used. But after seeing it myself, I have to tell you, I think it's a fantastic 4K transfer. Very, very solid. Now, going back to that grain structure, I was really surprised by how fine it actually looked on this release. It is there, do not worry about it. It is very fine, and there is absolutely no sign of any DNR being applied to this image, which is always fantastic in my book. But I thought it was going to be one of those 4K transfers that the grain would be very fine outdoors, but then when it goes indoors, it would be a very different thing altogether. No, it stays fine. It is beautifully, beautifully consistent. I think it's a stunning looking grain structure on this one. Now, the implementation of HDR was tastefully handled. I'm not going to say that it's a night and day difference over the previous Blu-ray. Colors just look so much more stable now, just a lot more natural looking. But all I was concerned about when it comes to a movie like Seven is the black levels on this one, and they look absolutely astonishing. They are unbelievably deep. They add so much depth to the image, and I'm happy to report, I really am happy to say this, I could not see one element of black crushing going on in this image. It's quite incredible when you think about how dark this movie looks, but there is no detail lost whatsoever. Just look at the scene where they uncovered the first body, the gluttony one. The blacks just look so insanely deep, but you can make out everything in that apartment. It is an absolute sight to behold. And in terms of fine detail, it is absolutely astonishing. It is on the usual suspects: facial details, clothing and textures. Just look at Brad Pitt's leather jacket. You can see every bit of cracks and fading and holes, everything like that. There is just so much fine detail to marvel at across the board. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful effort from Warner Brothers here. And I have to give all the credit in the world for David Fincher for what he's done here with this 4K restoration. Is it the best 4K transfer you're ever likely to see? Absolutely not. But like I said, hands down, the best this movie has ever looked. And I couldn't be happier with it. Now, it also comes with a DTS 5.1 audio, and I have to tell you, I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't get a Dolby Atmos soundtrack with this one, because a movie like Seven lends well to Dolby Atmos. Having said that, the DTS 5.1 audio for the most part I think sounds fantastic. I was surprised by how active it actually was. There are so many scenes where they're out in the city streets and you can actually hear all the people, all the traffic. That's all coming out of your rear channels. Not only that, but there's a nice bit of low-end bass when it needs to be there. Gunshots in particular pack a nice wallop. There's one scene where they're chasing after Kevin Spacey and there's a bit of a shootout. There's a nice punch to those gunshots. But for the most part, the movie is dialogue driven, and the dialogue sounds incredibly clean. You're going to have no issues whatsoever when it comes to the DTS 5.1 audio on this one. So there you have it, folks. That is my review of Seven, and I had an absolute blast revisiting this movie on 4K. And to be honest with you, I'm actually looking forward to checking it out again. I was very, very impressed, and I hope you get as much out of it as I did. But there you have it. So as per usual, if you did like what you see here, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you could leave a comment down below, and please do share your thoughts on this movie. And yeah, I hope to see you all again real soon with my next video. Until then, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.